One decision, one announcement, and one final goodbye. For over a decade, The Weeknd built one of the biggest music empires in the world. But at the very peak of his career, he made a decision that shocked fans across the globe. A decision that could erase one of the biggest names in modern music forever. But why would someone walk away when they finally have everything? The answer begins long before the headlines. Before he became The Weeknd, he was just Abel Tesfaye, a teenager from Toronto. No money, no connections, no clear future. He dropped out of school, left home, and disappeared into a life filled with uncertainty. Then, in 2010, 3 anonymous songs appeared online. No interviews, no face, no explanation, and just haunting music, dark melodies, and a voice nobody could forget. People didn't know who he was, but they couldn't stop listening. Within months, Drake shared his music, the internet exploded, and the mysterious artist known only as The Weeknd became one of music's most fascinating new stars. But that mystery would become both his greatest strength and eventually his biggest prison. Year after year, The Weeknd became bigger. The mixtapes turned into platinum albums. The underground sound became mainstream. Then came hit after hit. Can't Feel My Face, Starboy, Blinding Lights, one of the biggest songs in music history. It spent over 90 weeks inside the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10. It became Spotify's most streamed song ever. The numbers were unbelievable. Billions of streams, sold-out stadiums, Grammy Awards, billions in revenue. Hollywood came calling. Luxury brands wanted partnerships. Everything touched by The Weeknd seemed to become gold. From the outside, it looked perfect, but behind the scenes, something was changing. The darker his music became, the more the character of The Weeknd took over. Every album introduced another version of him. The reckless stranger, the heartbroken superstar, the man drowning in fame, the vampire of nightlife, the lonely celebrity. It wasn't just music anymore. It had become an entire fictional universe. Every performance, every music video, every red carpet appearance, everything served the character. Fans loved it. Critics praised it. But there was one problem. The character was becoming bigger than the person behind it, and Abel knew it. In interviews, he started talking about endings, about transformation, about moving on. Most people ignored it. They assumed it was another marketing campaign, another album rollout, another mystery. But they were wrong, because while fans were waiting for the next chapter, Abel was planning the final one. Then, everything changed. In 2023, Abel Tesfaye made a statement that stunned the music industry. He said he wanted to kill The Weeknd. Not literally, artistically. He explained that he felt he had said everything he could as The Weeknd, that the character had reached its limit, and that he wanted to close the chapter forever. Imagine hearing that. One of the biggest artists on earth, voluntarily ending the very name that made him famous. No scandal forced him. No record label demanded it. No financial disaster pushed him there. This was his decision, his choice. He described it as leaving behind a persona, like an actor stepping out of a role after years of living inside it. But this wasn't just about changing a stage name. This was about walking away from one of the most valuable brands in modern music, a name recognized across the planet, a name worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Most artists spend their entire careers trying to build that kind of identity. Abel wanted to leave it behind, and the timing made it even more unbelievable. His albums were still dominating charts. His concerts were selling out. His streaming numbers remained among the highest in the world. From a business perspective, nothing made sense. Why stop now? Why risk everything? Because for Abel, success wasn't the goal anymore. Freedom was. The internet exploded. Fans couldn't believe it. Some thought it was fake. Others believed it was simply another album promotion. Social media filled with theories. Would he actually disappear? Would he return under a new name? Would The Weeknd die inside one final album? Every interview created even more questions. Then came Hurry Up Tomorrow, marketed as the final chapter of a trilogy that began with After Hours and continued through Dawn FM. It didn't feel like another release. It felt like a farewell. The themes became more personal, more reflective, more emotional. It sounded like someone looking back on an entire life. Not just an album. Every lyric suddenly carried extra meaning. Fans searched for hidden messages. Every music video became evidence. Every performance felt symbolic. Then there was another twist. Abel pushed deeper into acting. He starred in HBO's The Idol. The series generated enormous attention, but not for the reasons anyone expected. It faced intense criticism. Reviews were harsh. Online debates exploded. For many celebrities, a public setback like that could have damaged everything. But Abel kept moving. Instead of retreating, he continued exploring new creative paths, because his goal wasn't simply protecting the Weeknd anymore, it was becoming something beyond it. Still, walking away from an iconic name carries enormous risk. Brands are built over decades. Recognition can't simply be transferred overnight. Every future project would inevitably face comparisons. Would audiences accept Abel Tesfaye, or would they always want the Weeknd? Nobody knew, and maybe neither did he. Today, the future remains one of music's biggest questions. Abel Tesfaye continues creating, acting, producing, experimenting, and evolving. Whether the name The Weeknd completely disappears or survives only as part of music history, its impact is undeniable. The mysterious artist who uploaded anonymous songs changed pop music forever. He blurred the line between R&B, alternative music, and cinematic storytelling. He inspired countless artists, created an unforgettable visual identity, and proved that mystery could still exist in the age of social media. Most importantly, he showed something very few global superstars are willing to do: walk away before the audience tells them to. That takes confidence, but it also takes courage, because starting over is terrifying, even when you're already famous. Especially when you're already famous. People often think success is about holding on to fame, holding on to money, holding on to the identity that made you successful. But sometimes, the hardest decision is letting go. Abel Tesfaye spent years creating one of the most recognizable names in modern music. Then, he chose to leave it behind. Not because it failed, but because he believed he had outgrown it. Maybe the Weeknd ends with one final performance. Maybe the name becomes a legend, or maybe this is simply the beginning of something even greater. Because history rarely remembers the people who played it safe. It remembers the ones willing to change everything, even when the whole world thinks they're crazy. And that's what makes this story unforgettable. The decision wasn't just about ending a stage name, it was about choosing growth over comfort, art over branding, identity over expectations, one decision, one goodbye, and perhaps one of the boldest reinventions modern music has ever seen. Fade to black. The Weeknd may eventually disappear, but Abel Tesfaye's story is far from over.